Investment funds in Canada got off to a flying start in January, with strong returns being posted by every equity, fixed income, and balanced category. Notably, all 24 of the Morningstar Canada fund indices that track equity categories posted gains north of 2%. With me to talk about these results is Morningstar Canada fund analyst Nick Dedes. Now, Nick, what were some of the biggest winners among the fund categories last month?
Well, leading the way in January, it was really the riskier asset categories. So that includes precious metals, emerging markets, a lot of the small cap categories as well.
Now, what does that tell us when all the riskier assets move together in tandem like this?
Well, it's become fairly commonplace to see the riskier assets really spike or decline from one month to the next. And that really tells us a couple of things. First off, I think it shows that there is a heightened level of volatility out there, and that's really characteristic of the current investment environment. And related to that, I think a lot of sort of broader macro issues seem to be driving market movements as opposed to individual security fundamentals.
Now, what were some of those macro issues last month?
Well, I think a couple of things that were factors included some positive news out of Europe, and also some news on the accommodative central bank policy out of the U.S. So out of Europe, we saw some progress being made with discussions about implementing tighter budget controls, European nations implementing tighter budget controls, and we saw some progress with discussions with Greece, where some progress was made that seems to be positive for their securing their next round of financing. As for the U.S. Fed, they announced that we're likely in for an exceptionally low rate environment through to late 2014 now.
Now, we saw something unusual last month. Normally, when every equity category across the board does well at the same time, it doesn't bode well for fixed income securities as people switch their money from the safer assets into the riskier ones. Now, we didn't really see that last month, as every fixed income category also did well. How do you explain that?
Yeah, that was interesting to see. I think while people on the one hand are gaining some comfort with some of the riskier asset categories, as we mentioned earlier, emerging markets, precious metals, small caps, on the other hand, there's still a lot of uncertainty out there. And so I think that continues to warrant a meaningful allocation for many investors to the relative safety of fixed income.
Thank you, Nick. And for more on Morningstar's survey of fund performance for the month of January, please click on the link on the right side of the video player. And check back with us regularly for more news and updates.